Hi everybody, it's me, Charles Norman from Sports Solutions LLC. We are the creators of AthleticSOS. It is a software platform that if you put in your academic information, your sport that you play, the location you want to play in, the level you think you can play at college, we'll show you all the schools you academically qualify for that have your sport, offer athletic scholarships, except for Division III for NCAA, but you can still get money to go play at that school and save yourself some money and not be in so much debt when you leave college. And then the other thing what we're really trying to do is create a world where you're going to the school that you want to go to, that fits you perfectly, and that you're going to have a great time. Whether you continue playing the sport all the way through or not, at least you can get started there and you'll feel really comfortable. So we don't want anyone to get left out. Now the key thing for our software is it's no cost to you guys to use. And so as always, down at the bottom, I give you a code, I give you the instructions for how to use the code, and you can use our software at no cost. Okay, so Happy New Year's to everyone, and it's kind of windy out here, so hopefully I didn't bring the windsock for the microphone, so hopefully you guys can hear me okay without too much interruption. So I'll try to go quick on this, but I want to get all this information out. So it is New Year's, it's 2023 here, and what I want to talk about is we always get at the beginning of the year from January all the way through April, right around till May, panic time kind of sets in for a lot of the kids. Now, we get the kids that did not take the first offer, like you guys get offered sometimes in the fall and from anywhere from September to December. A lot of the colleges are offering the kids opportunities to get athletic scholarships, but the kids feel like they could do a little bit better and they hold out. So we get those kids. And then we get the kids that thought they were going to get offers and nothing happened, right? They didn't get the offers they thought they were going to get. And there's a little bit of panic around January because there's going to be another signing period, but people kind of panic a little bit, and I get that. And then we get the kids that are wondering what they can do for next year, right? All of our juniors and things, they're wondering, well, what can I do for next year? I didn't get as much playing time as I wanted, things like that. And then we've got our seniors that we try to give some advice to, which I'm going to do next week. But for this one of the things I want to talk about, last week I was watching NBA on Christmas Day, right? It was Christmas. And so I was watching the Golden State Warriors, and I am a Laker fan, so I'm going to just tell you guys down here, we don't get along with the people up there as far as our sports. We don't mix and match just because they're in California. So anyway, I'm watching them play, and they're playing Memphis. I think they were playing the Memphis Grizzlies. And there seems to be some animosity between those two teams. Fantastic game. I really enjoyed it. And so as I'm watching the game, I'm watching Draymond Green. Now, I don't know if you guys know who he is, but it really doesn't matter. He's on the Golden State Warriors team. As I'm watching the game, I won't say I didn't highly think of him as a basketball player. I just thought of him as a hustle player, and then he's sort of that enforcer for that team, right? That's the way I always viewed Draymond Green. But as I'm watching the game, I'm watching how he plays. The guy's really a good basketball player. I mean, he does everything textbook right. If you are training to become a basketball player, he can dribble the ball up the floor on his own, even against a little bit of pressure. He passes early, right? If he sees someone open and is in the right spot, he'll get them the ball. He sets the best screens. He passes in traffic very easily, carefully. And even when he's not a great outside shooter, which that rest of that team is, and even when he has the ball and they back off of him, which is really a challenge to you to say, hey, I dare you to shoot the ball. You better shoot it. He won't do that. He'll set up the next play to make sure that he gets this guy that can make the shot. And then on defense, he can play all of the positions. He can guard almost anybody on the court. He rebounds on both ends, offense and defense. And then he kind of runs the team, tells everybody where to go. And so I'm watching the game and I'm going, dang, this guy's actually pretty good. Now, he's not a guy that I would put on my fantasy team, right? He's going to get us killed as far as points and things like that. But he really plays the game the right way. He actually is a skilled basketball player, but he's not an exciting basketball player. You know, I'd rather watch Curry or Klay Thompson do what they do, but he does the things the right way. But that's not what was important to me. As I'm watching the game, I'm going, what is it about this guy? And I go, I get it. He's the difference maker for that team. He's the reason they can win championships. And so I quickly went in on the computer and I looked up the salaries for the team. And he's the fourth highest player on the team. So Curry, who you expect, and Klay Thompson you expect, but Wiggins also makes more money than him, but he makes a lot of money. And then I'm looking at his stats, and I get geeky on this stuff. So I went in and I looked at everybody else in the league with his stats. Nobody's even close to salary where he is. So I realized that even the team recognizes, because they pay him a lot of money, that he is a difference maker for them. He is the difference maker, not a difference maker. And so when I was thinking about this, it's one of the things that I wanted to bring up for you guys. Be the difference maker for the team, for your high school team. Look at it, and I've done videos before where I talk about finding the hole, right? What is it that the team needs that you can come in and fill? But that's different than being a difference maker. They don't actually need him to do what he does. If you were just thinking about it and you write it down on paper, he just does what he does, and he happens to be the difference maker for that team that will get them championships. And so in your high school team, be the difference maker. I don't know what that means. That's the weird part about it. I don't know what it means. He kind of does a little bit of everything, but I've seen other players on other teams do a little bit of everything, but they're not the difference maker. They're not the reason they win the game. So you got to figure out what that is. So I want to throw that out there. And then the other team up there, the San Francisco 49ers, I don't know why these guys are doing so well this year. Kind of irritating. But anyway, Rams won the Super Bowl last year, so I will leave it at that. But I'm looking, and then during the middle of this season, they get McCaffrey. And McCaffrey is the difference maker for that team. They were already an okay team. They were already doing okay this year. But once they got McCaffrey, you saw things take off. The rest of the team gets excited. They feel like they can win the game. And so he's another one of those guys that is a difference maker. Yes, he's a good running back. Yes, he's tough. Yes, he's fast. Yes, he's all the things that you need him to be. But that's not what makes you the difference maker. And I don't know what to tell you what is the key? What does that mean? But try to look for that on other teams, and you try to become that. If you can become the difference maker, it changes everything. People want you. You will be rewarded for what you are able to do. So I think that is the key for 2023. Try to become the difference maker. And if you're looking for your college, you're using our software, AthleticSOS, no cost to you. If you're using our software, start looking for schools where you feel like you could be the difference maker. One of the great things about 2022, 2023 as we're moving forward, you can watch all the past games for the schools that you're interested in going to. Can you be a difference maker for that team? Because that's what the coaches should be looking for. And they might not even know how to put it into words, but that's what you want to do. You want to be the difference maker. Now, I want to transition from that to how we're doing that in our business. Because as I'm watching this game, I go, hey, that's kind of what we did. We pivoted back in 2020, right when the pandemic hit. Right before that, in 2019 and 2019, my wife and I took a big trip. I had been promising this trip for years, and although I was in the middle of the business, we kind of hit a stalling point. And so we took this trip to Europe and we just had a fantastic time. And on the way back, I was on the plane coming back, and I go, we got to do something different. We got a little bit of money coming in. We were charging for the software. We're getting a little bit of traction, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't doing what I meant to do. And so on that trip, I go, what is it I'm trying to do? And I had talked to all these, when I took this trip as a business person versus just a visitor, I had different questions. I would walk in the shops and talk with the shopkeepers and at the places that we would eat, and I would ask questions. And a lot of these places were small businesses in Europe that were family owned. And I would ask how they got started, and you would see the grandfather started it, but the family kept the business going and all this stuff. So I was really curious about all of that. And so the big thing that I picked up from everybody is, why did they start the business? And so that's what I was thinking about coming home. And when I started AthleticSOS, my goal was really very, very simple. I wanted to give every single high school athlete the opportunity to find the best fit for them, and then learn how to do that, pick out the school that makes sense for you, go to that college, have a great time playing, not be in debt, but more importantly, I wanted you to learn the skill set for choosing where should I go next, because you're going to leave college. And so that's what I was really trying to do. I was trying to create a generation of kids that were going to say, okay, let me do a little bit of research here. Why do I like this? Does this fit who I am? And I just added today, am I going to be the difference maker for them? And then I'm going to pick that school, and I'm going to reach out to that school. Instead of waiting for people to discover me, I'm going to discover where I want to go, and then I'm going to reach out, and hopefully we can match up. And maybe one of the schools that is outreaching to me first is the better fit, but I want to make sure that I have some other fits. And then the final thing was, I didn't want anybody to get left out that deserved to play at the collegiate level, all because things fell through for them, as some of the kids that are going to be hitting us up in January, February, March, April. I know they're coming, and we're prepared for it. So use the software. So that's what I wanted to do. And I'm on the plane ride coming home, and I'm going, how do I do that? How do I not leave anybody out? How do we make money as a business and still pull this stuff off? And then it came to me. I go, I have to give the software away at no cost, and I'll have to find another way to make revenue. And so once that decision was made, I went to sleep. I think it was like a 13, 14-hour flight, and I'm telling you, I slept like a baby. And then when I got back, that's the first thing we did. We took off the cost for the individuals, like I'm doing right now when I'm talking to you guys right now. There's no cost to you guys. Now for institutions, for schools, things like that, we do have a pricing category for that because we're doing a little bit more. We do stuff for different cities and different types of businesses. We white label stuff. So we do a lot of stuff behind the scenes, but it's still not enough to keep this business a business. So I got to figure out the rest of it, but now I know what I'm doing. So that's why the software is at no cost to you guys. Okay, so I guess my bottom line was what we decided to do was we found other companies, other businesses, other entities, whether it's a travel club program or it's a high school or it's a nonprofit that works with the youth. All of them could use our software for at least a piece of who they have for constituents or members. And so when we go to them and we say, hey, let us be the difference maker for you. Why would somebody choose your club program? Why would somebody use your business, whatever? So we've got pizza parlors and dry cleaners in my area that are using it. We're practicing this stuff. And so I've got a big one that's coming in a couple of weeks. I'm going to show you guys. We made a really great deal for this year. But I went into with the idea of being a difference maker. I didn't say difference maker until I saw the game last week, but I realized that's what we did. We walked into the room and we said, hey, can this software help you increase your business, improve your business, help your members? And all of a sudden the doors opened up for us. So I guess that was my big message for this video. Be the difference maker, and I can't tell you what that is. I know what it means for us. I know what it means when I see it, but can you do that in your athletic world? Can you walk in? Can you go to, when you go to practice next week, can you sit there and go, I'm going to be the difference. I'm going to be the reason we win this game. I'm going to be the reason we win league. I'm going to be the reason we win state or the championship or whatever it is you're trying to do. I want to be that difference. Don't just be the difference on the team. Be the reason they're successful. And that's what we want to try to get you guys to think about. So anyway, so this just kind of came, and I felt like this was the perfect day to do this. This is the new start for everybody. It's the beginning of the year. Everybody's feeling positive. I know if you read the headlines in the news, it's going to be this economic thing going on, and people are going to be hurting, and the cost of food and the cost of fuel and everything, negative sales. Okay, don't be in that mindset. Just think in your life, I want to be the difference maker. Same thing for the parents. It's time to get up. Start something. Do something new. You've got a kid to play sports. You know they're going to be playing this for a while. Let's start getting them start working on their social work outside of that. Try to get them set up for their future, maybe for the family's future. That's a big thing. I'm going to do a video on that too because that's part of what we're doing on our side. Anyway, I don't want to get too deep down into the roots of this. I just wanted to say Happy New Year's to everyone. The software is available to you. Please use it. I know these videos are doing good because the code that I used, and the code is going to change today because it's 2023, but the code that I was giving away last year on when I sat here and did this in this park all the time, those numbers skyrocketed, and they skyrocketed near the end of the year, and I don't know why. We went from like at the beginning of the year only 5 people were using the code. Maybe it's a trust thing. You guys trust me a little bit more than you did before, but by the end of the year we have over 300 people just from this, and I know because this is the only place I use this code. You guys lit it up near the end of the year. October, November, December just went nuts. I have no idea why. I can't even tell you. And by the way, if you can't use the software and you stumbled upon this this video, give it to someone you do know. Tell them about it. The code's down below. You don't have to tell them to watch the video if you don't want to, but give them the code. Let them use the software. It will definitely help you guys. I know the software works because we're getting emails back saying, where was this? How come we didn't know about this? And share with other people, because I think that's the reason. A lot of people get a hold of our software. They won't even tell their neighbors. They won't even tell their other relatives until they get their thing locked down. It doesn't work that way. You let everybody know about the software. When you belong somewhere, there's plenty of room for everybody. And when you know about the software, let other people know, because you want to help other people, period. That's what we're all about. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop here. Happy New Year's to everyone. And let's think positive moving forward. Everything's going to be great. Let's start moving towards our goals and things. Let's start thinking past this year, this month, whatever, and start looking at stretching it out. Where do I want to be in 10 years? That's the way I always look at this thing. Where do I want to be in 10 years? And then that's where we're going to get to. And it's going to be a little curvy road sometimes, but the software can help you guys, at least from the athletic point of view. And then if you are an institution or organization that has services for young high school age students, let me know about it. We have a bigger program than just the software that allow you to help even the kids that aren't going to try to get athletic scholarships. Our software can help them too. All right, guys, as always, best of luck to you in all your endeavors. And if you want to stay playing the game, we're here to help you. All right, take a look at the software down below. The code is all you need, and then the instructions are down there too. Talk to you guys later. Bye.